Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget, we are streaming live on the World Wide Web at hometalkusa.com. And we welcome all of you to go to our website and check out the show, the topics, our sponsors, our guests, everything that has to do with Home Talk USA and King Broadcasting. Don't forget, at the top of the hour, we're going to have the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. So stay tuned to her show with me. It's co-hosted by me here on the King's Broadcasting Network. All right, I am so excited to have our next guest. His name is Noah McNeely. He is with a company called Product Quick Start. If you are, not new to the show, Noah is one of our corporate partners on the Invent America show here on the King's Broadcasting Network. He's been with us since almost the beginning of the Invent America show. A lot of the success of the show is attributed, in my opinion, to Noah Neely, his company, what he does when it comes to prototyping, when it comes to having that idea for the next, so to say, iconic technology. I don't know. But it has to start somewhere. It's got to start from an idea. It's got to start from putting it on a piece of paper. It's got to start with licensing and copywriting and trademarking and a whole bunch of stuff. But you have to have manufacturing, or you have to have a product, test product, or to do what you want to do, and it's a very tedious process. Well, Noah's company, Product Quick Start, is one of the leaders in that field, and I thought it'd be great to thank him, to get him on the show on Home Talk USA. It's the first time he's been on the big show. And Noah McNeely, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, and as always, happy to be here. Thanks for including me.
A lot of people here after this big introduction probably think you actually can walk on water, but a lot. So let's explain a little bit of what you do, a little bit about where do you come in on a process here when, say, I have a product that I want to get to market. Can you guide me a little bit for our audience here and tell us, what your company does, what you do,
Mhm.
a little bit about the process, and where do you come in at? What stage of this do you come in? Because you come in at all
Sure.
sorts of places in this spectrum, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I meet people at all different stages of their journey. Some people they had the idea last night, and then they go to my website and they call me the next day, and we're starting there. Other people they built something in their garage. They've some people already have a product on the market, and they just don't they've fallen out with their manufacturer or whatever the case is, and they need some help moving it forward and making their business work. To make it short, what we do is all about making stuff. So, wherever you are in that process, we can help you make prototypes. We can help you design it, engineer it, get it ready for manufacturing. I can help you fill a warehouse full of product. What we don't do sales. We don't do marketing. We leave that to other people. We're all about taking it from nothing and making it a real thing.
Yeah, from an idea to a piece of paper to a prototype to whatever stage that they want you to come in on.
Yeah, and frankly, process wise, it always starts with verifying they have something. Believe it or not, I probably tell half the people that contact me that they shouldn't spend any money with me or really with
Anybody.
anyone else because sometimes there's problems I can solve. Sometimes there's problems that are just business problems, like they have a great idea but there's no market for it, or they have a $200 solution to a $5 problem, and that just doesn't work. And I'm at a point in my career where I don't need to create projects just to create projects. I'm looking for success stories. And I'm also at a point where I don't feel comfortable taking people's money if I know there's no chance of success. And
Yeah, yeah,
that would work.
and I want to make a point that you are full service, and that's so important in the process, because you can not only can control the logistics of the product itself, but you can kind of control a little bit about, get involved in the price point, which is so important. Because at the end of the day, you just said you have a $200 product trying to solve a $5 situation.
Right.
And that happens a lot. You just can't produce or get a cost point that would be acceptable to the public that has to
Right.
purchase whatever technology. And it
Yeah,
happens a
you
lot
could you could
too.
have a great idea for a new feature on a hammer, but if that makes that hammer cost $200, you're not going to sell a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
We got to look at how can we take that feature and actually make it, work not just in physics, not just in engineering and manufacturing, but how do we make it work on the cost side? And yeah, that's a big part of what we do too.
Well, and engineering plays a big part because, I'm only going to use my personal experiences, but, I need to tell you that as an experienced contractor and things, I can, I'm going to use an architect as a sample, pretend the
Mhm.
architect is the engineer. So, kind of different labels, but kind of understand what I'm talking about here. I butt heads a lot of times with architects because I'm looking at a drawing or I'm looking at a situation that I know that can't be done.
Right.
I can't do it. But, it could be done. So sometimes I had to pass on the project because I knew this, as much he put it on a piece of paper and did all these designs,
Mhm.
it can't be done. Or if it can be
Yeah,
done, you're going to
I
have
think of
problems.
I think of architects a lot like designers. In my
Yeah.
field, we have what's called industrial design, which is like the architecture of products.
Yeah.
And I'm degreed in that field too. And it's a cool thing. But a lot of designers, just like some architects, they'll make these beautiful drawings of things that are not practical. So that's where
Practical.
the engineering comes in, is
That's
taking
the,
that idea, making it practical and making it where the customer can actually afford it at the end of the day. You really have to have both of those things
well,
working
engineers,
together.
their mentality is to solve problems. They're hot wired that way to figure out how to solve this particular situation. That's how you hot wired. I'm sorry, I don't know you personally, but that's how you hot wired. You can take a situation and try to figure it out and use engineering to do it. Because let's face it, every building, every product, every bridge, every whatever had to be engineered to build that structure or product. So that's the most important part, is to figure it out. To do that. Noah, now, so let's explain some of the mistakes and some of the do's and don'ts. Can we talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So like mistakes inventors make, is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Gosh, there's a lot. I almost at this point I've kind of created personas of inventors that have different types of mistakes because I've met so many of them. Some get really focused on their patent, which patents are great. Don't get me wrong, love patents, but a lot of times I'll meet people, they've gone out and they had this idea and they went straight to a patent attorney, and then they come in, they've got this patent. It's like, let's make exactly what's in this patent. Then in 10 minutes, I've already come up with 5 or 10 better ways to do it than what they've got in their patent. But sometimes they're like, well, no, we still got to make it this way. And my point at that juncture is we can make a bad product because it matches your patent, or we can go back to the drawing board and create a better product that's going to have you, launch a good business, even if we have to go back and file a new patent. So that's one mistake. People get obsessed with patents.
yeah,
People kind of underestimate how much
yeah.
it's going to cost or how much time it's going to take to get to the market.
But I want to talk about when we come back off a break. I only got a couple seconds left. I want to talk about that we don't just have to talk about a new idea. You can actually take, if they have an old idea with a
Mhm.
new solution that can, and people don't realize that you can patent additional improvements to whatever product.
Yep.
And I want to
Yep.
talk about that. All right, we're gonna have to take a short break right here. This is Home Talk USA, streaming live all across America. Don't forget, top of the hour, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton, with Mr. Noah Neely, who's going to be her guest. But we thought we would get Mr. McNeely on the show. And thank you so much. We're going to take a short break. This is the Cajun contractor, Michael King. I'll be right back. Yay!